Assalamu alaikum. This is Nashwa Saeed, and this is the fourth video in the second level of the Recite Right course on how to read Quran in the right way following the Tajweed rules. Actually, this video and the next video will be stats. We will express the letters information in numbers because we want to define what are the strong letters and what are the weak ones based on the characteristics they have. First, I would like to remind you with مخارج الحروف, the مخارج, and we have five major ones. The first, الحلق, throat, then اللسان, tongue, then الشفتان, lips, and these three are specific articulation points, while we have two approximate ones, الجوف, the empty space in the oral cavity and the throat, then الخيشوم, which is the nasal cavity. Now we're gonna speak about the throat. As you know, it is a major articulation point with three minor ones, each for two letters. First, the deepest part of the throat, the makhraj of hamza and ha. The hamza characteristics are shidda, strength, jahr, apparent, istifal, lowering, infitah, separation, and the last is ismet, resistance. Then al-ha has rakhawa, floppiness, hams, whisper, istifal, lowering, انفتاح, separation, and ismet, resistance. Then the middle throat for عين and ha. The عين characteristics are توسط, moderation, جهر, apparent, استفال, lowering, انفتاح, separation, and ismet, resistance. While the ha characteristics are first one رخاوة, floppiness, همس, whisper, استفال, lowering, انفتاح, separation, and ismet, resistance. Now, this is the closest part of the throat for غين and خا. The غين characteristics are رخاوة, floppiness, جهر, apparent, and here استعلاء, elevation, انفتاح, separation, ismet, resistance. Then the kha, which has رخاوة, flappiness, hams, whisper, also استعلاء, elevation, انفتاح, separation, and also ismet, resistance. Now the stats. For each letter, the strong and the weak characteristics, the hamza, as you can count now, the shidda is strong, the jahr is strong, while the rest are weak. So the hamza has two strong characteristics and two weak ones. We don't count the ismet or its opposite, the dhalaqa, in the count of weak and strong characteristics, since they don't affect the pronunciation of each letter. So then the ha doesn't have any strong characteristic and four weak ones. The ain, two strong and two weak. The ha, zero strong characteristics and four weak ones. The ghain has two strong ones and two weak ones. The kha has only one strong characteristic, which is the isti'la, elevation, and three weak ones. If we could look here, we can figure out that the ha and the ha are the weakest, while the strongest are actually the hamza, the ain, and the gha, the ghain, since each of them has two strong characteristics and two weak ones. The kha is in between. يعني not the strongest, not the weakest, since it has only one strong characteristic and three weak ones. Now we come to the tongue. As we have mentioned before, the scholars distributed the makharij in the tongue over 4 areas. The back of the tongue, the middle of the tongue, the tip of the tongue, and the 2 edges of the tongue. First, the back of the tongue for the qaf and the kaf. The qaf has shidda, strength, and jahr, apparent, استعلاء, elevation, انفتاح, separation, إصمات, resistance, and قلقلة, um, shaking. Then the calf, which has shadda, strength, hams, whisper, استفال, lowering, انفتاح, separation, إصمات, resistance. Then the middle of the tongue for jim, shin, and ya. The jim has shidda, strength, also has jahr, apparent, استفال, lowering, انفتاح, separation, إصمات, resistance, and قلقلة, shaking. While the shin has رخاوة, floppiness, همس, whisper, استفال, lowering, انفتاح, separation, إصمات, resistance, and the shin, if you remember, has تفشي, spreading, one of the characteristic without opposites. Then the ya has رخاوة, floppiness, جاهر, apparent, استفال, lowering, انفتاح, separation, إصمات, resistance. And it has the lean characteristic without opposite. The lean is the flexibility. Then the edges of the tongue, we have dod, and lam. For this area, the dod characteristics are رخاوة, flappiness, جهر, apparent, استعلاء, elevation, إطباق, adhesion, إصمات, resistance, and استطالة, extending. While the lam has توسط, moderation, جهر, apparent, استفال, lowering, انفتاح, separation, and here ذلاقة, fluency, and also one of the characteristics without opposites, which is انحراف, drifting. And we still have only one remaining area in the tongue, which is the tip of the tongue. And we will speak today about some of the letters, since the tip of the tongue has, as you can see and remember, has 11 letters. So now we're gonna speak about the first letter of the letters of the tip of the tongue, which is the fourth area on the in the tongue. As you can see, each letter has mix of strong and weak characteristics so far. So now, the tip of the tongue, the first letter we speak about is the Ra. The Ra is the only letter which has 7 characteristics. First, moderation, توسط, moderation, جهر, apparent, استفال, lowering, انفتاح, separation, ذلاقة, fluency, and 2 characteristics without opposites. Not only one like all the other letters. The first one is انحراف, drifting, and تكرير, repeating, the only letter which has this characteristic. Then we have the sin, the صاد, and the زي, مخرج. The sin characteristics are رخاوة, flappiness, همس, whisper, استفال, lowering, انفتاح, separation, إصمات, resistance, and صفير without opposite, whistle. Then the صاد has رخاوة, flappiness. همس, whisper, استعلاء, elevation, إطباق, addition, إصمات, resistance, صفير, whistle. Then the ذا, رخاوة, flappiness, جهر, apparent, استفال, lowering, انفتاح, separation, إصمات, resistance, and صفير, whistle. These three letters called the صفير letters. Now the طا, the and te and del minor articulation point. The characteristics are شدة, strength, جهر, apparent, استعلاء, elevation, إطباق, adhesion, إصمات, resistance, قلقلة, shaking. All the ta characteristics are strong. Actually, the ta is the strongest letter, as we'll see. The ta has شدة, strength, همس, whisper, استفال, lowering, انفتاح, separation, and إصمات, resistance. The dal has شدة, strength, جهر, apparent, استفال, lowering, انفتاح, separation, إصمات, resistance, and one without opposite, which is the قلقلة, shaking. Here we stop, and inshallah we continue our steps in the next video. Assalamu alaikum.